Good morning, America. Charlie Kirk's widow speaks.
My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children.
Hours after the arrest of a suspect in the assassination of her husband, the new details on the manhunt, the arrest, and how sources say the suspect concealed a rifle as Utah's governor makes a plea against political violence.
At some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse.
Denouncing the violence against Republicans and Democrats, we're live in Utah with the latest.
The president's crime crackdown moves to Memphis.
They are coming. It's not the mayor's call.
Memphis expected to be next in line for National Guard troops. What we know this morning about the planned deployment.
Caught on camera, a fatal confrontation between a suspected undocumented immigrant and an ICE agent. The officer dragged by the suspect's vehicle as he allegedly tried to get away. Then shots fired, the suspect killed. What authorities are saying this morning.
Swift decision. A judge rules on whether pop star Taylor Swift will have to answer questions under oath in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, It Ends With Us civil suit, where the case stands this morning.
College football game day. We are live in Tennessee with ESPN, where the Georgia Bulldogs will face the Tennessee Volunteers. Which of these 2-0 teams will remain undefeated? Plus all the big games to watch today.
Bronx Bombers.
And Judge rips one out toward left center field. This one headed way back beyond the monster.
Aaron Judge launching a home run and rewriting the record books.
One big swing at Fenway.
Passing Yankees legend Hall of Famer Joe DiMaggio.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
We are ringing those bells on a Saturday. So good. Good morning, America. Hey, congrats to Aaron Judge, right?
Yeah.
On that historic achievement. We're going to have more on that coming up here. Also ahead this morning, your holiday wallet. Why some families are actually getting their holiday gifts now to avoid any possible inflation.
Yeah, a lot to cover here. We're also following Secretary of State Marco Rubio's visit to Israel today after the country's bombing of Hamas targets in Qatar, a U.S. ally, and an overwhelming United Nations General Assembly vote in favor of a two-state solution.
Yep, but we do begin with the investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Jacqueline Lee joins us live from Utah with the latest this morning. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Janae, good morning. The big question here is motive, and that's something officials are trying to piece together. But the FBI is thanking the public for generating more than 11,000 tips and helping put the suspect behind bars.
You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Overnight, Charlie Kirk's widow speaking out for the first time since her husband's assassination Wednesday.
I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart.
Erica Kirk choking back tears, standing beside Charlie's desk at his Turning Point USA headquarters, describing his commitment to his work and his family, including their 2 children.
Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that.
And pledging her own commitment to upholding Kirk's legacy. And new details this morning about the urgent 33-hour manhunt that led to the arrest of the man police say was behind Kirk's brutal murder in broad daylight. Kirk was speaking at an event here at Utah Valley University.
We got him.
Authorities taking 22-year-old Tyler Robinson into custody around 10 p.m. local time Thursday night, more than 3 hours away from the university in St. George, Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Sources telling ABC News the suspect's father recognized him in these photos and told his son to turn himself in. They say he initially said no, but then changed his mind. Social media appears to show his family enjoyed hunting. He comes from a Mormon middle-class family. His mother, a social worker. His father owned a kitchen countertop business. Keaton Brooksby has known the suspect since middle school.
I knew his family had firearms. I knew he shot all the time. There was pictures all over his family's Facebook of him with firearms.
Friends and classmates describe the suspect as intelligent but reserved.
The last summer, I ran into him at a grocery store. He was a little bit more anxious than I remember.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox saying the suspect had recently become more political and had brought up Kirk's scheduled visit to Utah Valley University at a family dinner.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
The governor revealing the suspect allegedly communicated on the messaging app Discord with his roommate, including needing to recover a rifle from a bush. Authorities retracing the suspect's steps, saying he arrived at the campus in his Dodge Challenger at 8:29 a.m. and appeared to walk with a stiff right leg. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News they believe he was hiding the weapon under his clothing. Moments after the shooting, you can see him sprinting off the roof and dropping down to the ground. This morning, a growing memorial here at the UVU campus as this community and nation reels from the latest act of political violence.
Regardless of if you agreed with his opinions or disagreed with his opinions, you know, like having something like this happen here, there's no words for that.
The Utah County Attorney will be reviewing evidence over the next few days and could be bringing charges as early as next week. Gio.
All right, powerful words there from Erica Kirk. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. We're going to turn now to the reaction and the arrest and heightened concern about political violence in the U.S. Let's begin here with ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang in Bedminster, New Jersey right now, where the president is spending the weekend. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, Gio, good morning. The president is grieving, but he's also angry, and he is once again blaming the left for the murder of Charlie Kirk, even before authorities know the motive of the alleged shooter. And now the White House says the president will soon announce a plan to go after left-wing extremism. But so far, the president has only listed out attacks against Republican leaders while making no mention of violence against Democrats, including the killing of Minnesota state lawmaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the arson attack at Governor Josh Shapiro's home in Pennsylvania earlier this year. And some in the MAGA world have echoed the president's sentiment, saying the violence only goes one way. But that's simply not true. That's not the reality we're seeing in this country, where violence comes from and impacts people all across the political spectrum. And lawmakers from both parties are rattled. Some have even canceled events out of fear for their own safety. In fact, Capitol Police say that the number of threats against lawmakers this year is on pace to nearly double the previous record. Even so, President Trump is telling lawmakers you have to go forward, calling this dangerous business. Now, in all of this, Utah's governor has emerged as a voice for calm and unity, warning that pointing the finger only escalates hate. And he's also calling social media a cancer on our society, urging Americans to log off, touch grass, hug a family member. Whit.
All right, Selena Wang for us. We appreciate it. Thank you. And officials say the political tension in the U.S. has given rise to a concerning threat environment. Olivia Rubin is here with details on what could be driving all of this. Olivia, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Words like hostile, tense, violent are all words that I'm hearing right now to describe this current very heightened threat environment. Experts and former law enforcement I've spoken to say there are a number of factors that are driving this. First, of course, is this deep political polarization in the country and the degree to which some people view those who disagree with them as an enemy. That's dangerous. There's also concerns about the internet, of course, and social media, which is full of very violent content that individuals who may already be isolated and angry can easily get their hands on and drive them even deeper. And killings like we saw this week are only adding fuel to this very dangerous fire. One group which monitors online extremism found nearly 30,000 online posts in the aftermath calling for more violence. And we've seen some of that play out largely on college campuses this week, many in a heightened state of alert following a string of unsubstantiated threats. On top of that, officials have warned that foreign countries, our adversaries, want us divided and are amplifying these incidents to sow division. Now, in order to get a handle on this, experts say we need to tamp down the rhetoric. That is key. Secure more mental health resources for the public and for law enforcement to stay focused on stopping people and identifying them early before they are radicalized.
All right, Olivia, thank you. Now to an ICE operation turning deadly in the Chicago suburbs as the agency gears up its operations in that area. Officials say a man who was in the country illegally was killed and an officer badly hurt when the man tried to flee. Alex Stone joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Janae, good morning. Only 6 days into the immigration enforcement mission in Chicago, Operation Midway Blitz, as it's called, announced on Monday, and already ICE agents have opened fire and a suspect is dead. This morning, an ICE agent is recovering and a suspect is dead after allegedly dragging the agent with his vehicle during a traffic stop in the Chicago suburb of Franklin Park. This surveillance video from a nearby business capturing the moment Silverio Villegas Gonzalez's silver car goes by. 20 seconds later, you hear the shots ring out. Immigration and Customs Enforcement saying agents were conducting targeted law enforcement activity when they tried to stop Villegas Gonzalez. They say he was in the country illegally and had a history of reckless driving. As Gonzalez tried to get away, he allegedly drove his car into the arrest team. The Department of Homeland Security says dragging an agent, quote, a significant distance. That agent opening fire, shooting and killing Villegas Gonzalez. A nearby bystander capturing ICE agent seen here, pulling him from the car.
I think it's a tragedy that a life was lost. Just right now I'm in shock of what happened.
Villegas Gonzalez died at the scene. Lawmakers speaking out and calling for transparency.
I'm calling for all of the videotapes and all of the evidence that exists to be released and for all the facts to be made public.
Immigrant rights advocates demanding justice.
Today, we are going to say no again. We want to continue to live how we have lived all this time.
And guys, the agent involved in the shooting went to a hospital. ICE says he had serious injuries this morning, now in stable condition. And some Mexican Independence Day events in Chicago will go on this weekend as planned. They began last weekend, but others have been canceled for fear of federal agents moving in. Gio.
All right, Alex Stone, thank you so much for your reporting there. We're going to turn now to Memphis, Tennessee. That's the next city that's expected to see National Guard troops deployed as part of President Trump's crime crackdown. And Christian Cordero is following this for us. Good morning, Christian.
Gio, good morning. For weeks, the president has promoted his crime-fighting approach here in Washington, D.C. as a blueprint, teasing plans to deploy the National Guard to other cities, including now Memphis, Tennessee. The Democratic mayor of Memphis says he does not believe using the National Guard will effectively bring crime down, but did support a boost in other federal resources like the FBI, DEA, and ATF. It ultimately isn't up to the mayor, which he acknowledges. Unlike LA and Chicago, both cities in democratically led states, Tennessee's Republican governor is working with the administration, giving the National Guard permission to carry out regular law enforcement duties. Following the president's announcement, Tennessee's governor vowed to leverage the full extent of federal and state resources. Now, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate in the U.S. last year, according to FBI data, though its mayor touts an overall reduction in crime compared to previous years. Still a lot of questions about how this National Guard deployment will work out. Officials haven't yet announced when the troops will arrive, how many will be deployed, and whether it changes the federal takeover here in Washington. Because remember, Tennessee sent some of its National Guard members here to the nation's capital in response to the president's executive order. Whit.
Okay, Christian, thank you for that. Overseas now to the war in Gaza as Secretary of State Marco Rubio heads to Israel. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv with the latest. Ian, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Secretary of State Marco Rubio landing in Israel this weekend after another week of escalating violence. The State Department calling this a show of support, emphasizing the shared goals of, quote, defeating Hamas and bringing home the hostages. But there's little sign these goals are really any closer to becoming a reality after worrying escalation this week. Israel bombing Qatar, a key U.S. ally, to target the Hamas leadership there. But the strike appears to have failed for Israel. 6 people were killed, but none of them were top officials, and it's provoked a furious backlash from the international community, with the UN voting to endorse a 2-state solution, in effect recognizing a Palestinian state. But Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu emphatically ruling that out. Meanwhile, in Gaza, dozens of high-rise buildings destroyed by Israeli airstrikes, with evacuation orders in place for hundreds of thousands of people and mass arrests in the West Bank. We visited Gaza this week, and I can tell you the destruction there is utterly shocking. So Rubio's trip comes at a critical time after a week which has seen criticism of Israel mounting and no clear end to the war in sight. Guys.
All right, our thanks to Ian Panel there. Well, NATO ramps up its air defenses days after more than a dozen Russian attack drones violated Poland's airspace. NATO deployed fighter jets to shoot down the drones. President Trump suggesting the drones over Poland could have been a mistake, but Poland's prime minister insists this was no mistake, calling the drone incursion an attack. France, the UK, and Germany now among several nations sending additional assets to better defend NATO's eastern flank. Gio.
Okay, Janae, now to a sweeping investigation by the NCAA alleging 13 former basketball players from 6 different schools bet on their team's games and against their own schools. Ike Kajachi is here now with this story. Ike, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Authorities say the students shared insider information with outside bettors, even trying to manipulate game outcomes. Now, the schools involved are Eastern Michigan, Temple, Arizona State, New Orleans, North Carolina A&T, and Mississippi Valley State. The NCAA and the universities emphasize that neither current school staff or coaching personnel are implicated. Now, the scandal comes just days after 3 athletes at Fresno State and San Jose State were permanently banned from NCAA sports for allegations of similar betting and game-fixing violations. Now, NCAA President Charlie Baker says while legalized sports betting is here to stay, regulators and gaming companies can do more to reduce these integrity risks by eliminating prop bets and giving sports leagues a seat at the table when setting policies. Now, the investigation is ongoing, and the names of the athletes are being withheld until the process concludes, guys.
Okay, Ike, so you're talking here about the college athletes, but it turns out there are also some pros who are facing some of these allegations.
Yeah, that's very true, Gio. This really isn't just a college issue. 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers are on paid leave as both MLB and Ohio State regulators probe allegations of micro-betting activity. Neither player, they've commented on that. And the NBA is launching an inquiry of free agent Malik Beasley, who they say has been linked to improper gambling on NBA games and prop bets. Now, Beasley's attorney says that he is cooperating fully with the investigation, guys.
I've really seen some widespread issues with this. All right, Ike, we appreciate it.
In just a few hours, some of the biggest names in the music world will gather for an extraordinary event, the Grace for the World concert at the Vatican. And our James Longman has a front row seat. How lucky. Good morning, James.
Hey, Janae, yeah, check this out. I mean, I'm right on a roof overlooking the Vatican, and that is where this incredible concert is going to take place, right there in St. Peter's Square. I heard some of the rehearsals last night, and I've got to tell you, the music is sensational. We were all here, of course, earlier this year to say goodbye to Pope Francis and welcome Pope Leo, where it's on those very same steps we're going to see some of the biggest names in music. We're talking Jennifer Hudson, Andrea Bocelli, John Legend, Pharrell Williams. Pharrell actually met the Pope yesterday during an audience which he had for some of these musicians. It's going to be very diverse musically. So on the one hand, we've got Jelly Roll. On the other, we've got a K-pop sensation, Bam Bam. There's going to be a gospel choir. There's hip-hop acts as well. I mean, in some sense, this is a bit of a birthday tribute for this American Pope because Leo turns 70 tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to see him, but he will definitely hear this concert because he only lives about 300 yards away from St. Peter's Square. And he's probably going to want to go up onto his roof to check out this extraordinary light and sound show that we're promised. Some 3,000 drones are going to be up in the sky creating images of the Sistine Chapel. It will be extraordinary, and everybody will be able to tune in later today. It all kicks off at 3 p.m. Eastern on Disney+, Hulu, and ABC News Live. Guys.
You are very lucky to have that view, James.
What a show.
That is a great show. Thank you so much, James. We appreciate you. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning America. Uber is facing a lawsuit by the Justice Department, which says it discriminates against people with disabilities, what the car service is saying this morning.
Plus, swift decision. The judge is ruling on whether Taylor Swift should be deposed by Justin Baldoni's legal team for his civil suit with Blake Lively.
And the big college football games this weekend, including what Bama has to prove in its battle with the Badgers. We'll see you in a bit.
Star hotels are booked. You know what? Whatever. Who needs a fancy suite? I mean, come on. Let's rough it. It'll be like old times. I get the feeling there's definitely been a few chalk outlines on this floor.
Welcome back to GMA. A great moment there from Girls Trip. And And we've all been there, maybe not actually there,
Yeah.
but group trips, they can be tough, especially when it comes to splitting the costs. So you'll meet some friends who figured out a great way to share expenses. That is coming up.
That's a fun, and in that hotel room situation, we wouldn't be there.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other stories we're following here on this Saturday morning. Lawmakers in Missouri pass a new congressional map that could help Republicans flip a House seat. The Republican-controlled Senate voted Friday on the map that would split up a longtime Democratic district in Kansas City. The move aims to help Republicans win 7 of the state's 8 House seats in next year's midterms.
And the Justice Department hits Uber with a lawsuit alleging it discriminates against people with disabilities. The suit claims Uber drivers routinely refuse service to riders with disabilities, wrongfully charging cleanup fees for service animals and charge cancellation fees after denying service. Uber responded in a statement saying they disagree with the allegations and, quote, riders who use guide dogs or other assistive devices deserve a safe, respectful, and welcoming experience on Uber.
We now know what's next for the fashion house of late designer Giorgio Armani. His will calls for his fashion empire to be split between family, his longtime business partner, and the Armani Foundation. His heirs are also instructed to gradually sell the Armani brand.
And Yankees slugger Aaron Judge swings his way to a new milestone. Judge hit his 362nd career homer in last night's game against the Boston Red Sox. Judge now holds 4th place on the Yankees home run leaderboard, surpassing Hall of Famer Joe DiMaggio. Incredible. Congrats to him.
Yeah, good for him. All right, now to a big day in college football. Week 3 action about to kick into high gear, and our friend ESPN college football analyst Desmond Howard joins us from Knoxville to break down some of today's biggest games. Hey, Des, it's great to have you this morning. So, yeah, there we see the crowd getting into it. Let's dive into this game because College Game Day in Knoxville this weekend for number 6 Georgia taking on number 15 Tennessee. What should we watch out for in this matchup?
Well, the first thing you need to watch out for in Neyland Stadium are these Rocky Top fans behind me. This place is going to be bananas at 3:30 Eastern time. I'm trying to tell you, they're going to do one of the most iconic things in college football. They're going to checkerboard the stadium, which is a beautiful look. And once you get beyond that, you got to go to Tennessee's quarterback, Joey Aguilar, transfer from App State. He's running this offense like it was tailor-made for him. He's completed 66% of his passes, 5 touchdowns. Oh, yes. And in the interception column, there's a big 0. He's playing at a very high level now. With that being said, I'm going to tell you not what I think, but what I know. This is going to be his biggest test because this Georgia Bulldogs defense, they're for real. But I think he's up for the challenge. So make sure you guys check out the quarterback for Tennessee, Joey Aguilar.
Des, I think the audience there is just like, they're just charging you up. You're getting all that energy from them. That's you get more and more energy.
Yeah,
see, there it is.
This is my Rocky Top family right here, baby. Yes, sir.
Hey, the Big Ten is taking on the SEC on ABC today. So when Wisconsin goes to Alabama to face the number 19 Crimson Tide, what do you need to see from Bama?
You know, it's not going to be like a really exciting or sexy answer. I just need them to be fundamentally sound, right? When you think about Alabama, you think about a team that they do things the right way. They don't beat themselves. They run to the ball. They don't miss tackles. They don't blow assignments. Just become fundamentally sound. I think if they do that, they have enough talent that they can turn this season around. Obviously, they won last week. So we'll see this week what happens against Wisconsin. But that's really all I need to see. And plus, they get Ryan Williams, their superstar wide receiver. He returns this week. He was in concussion protocol for the last week and a half.
Those boos are intense. So, Des, Florida plays number 2 LSU.
They don't like Alabama here. They do not like Alabama
Clearly.
here. They don't like Alabama.
We got that.
So Florida plays number 2 LSU after that upset loss to USF. How can the Gators bounce back?
Guys, that was a huge loss, right? And they helped USF as much as a team could with penalties and dropped passes and just, they didn't look like they were in sync. So they're going to have to stop getting into their own way. They were a team that was like playing as if they were not on the same level as USF, and USF played as a team who really wanted the game. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure if this is the bounce back game, because you're talking about Florida going to Baton Rouge at nighttime, playing in that stadium, and that's one of the hardest places to walk into and walk out with the W. So I think that this is going to be a huge challenge for the Florida Gators, but it's one that I'm excited to watch.
Well, we're looking forward to it, too. And, Des, as always, we appreciate it. The juggling the crowd and the analysis at the same time. Always very impressive. And, again, you can see Des and the College Game Day crew in Knoxville today at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and Disney+. And you can see the full SEC lineup of these games on ABC kicking off at noon Eastern. Des was still firing up the crowd.
He was.
Even when he went off camera.
Now, with the latest in the she said, he said battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And now the question of whether Taylor Swift will be involved. Baldoni's legal team seeking to have Swift testify under oath. ABC's Will Gant joins us with the ruling. Good morning, Will.
Normally when we're talking he said, she said around here, I'm just talking about the three of you. But no, today it's somebody else. Yeah. As Taylor Swift herself said on track 3 of the Tortured Poets Department, oh, here we go again. Back in May, Baldoni's team tried to subpoena Taylor and then decided against it. And once again, it appears Taylor will avoid involvement in the case thanks to an 11th hour decision passed down by the judge just last night. This morning, Taylor Swift is free from the Justin Baldoni-Blake Lively legal drama. For now.
You didn't like the flowers?
Stop flirting with me.
A judge ruling late Friday that the Grammy Award-winning singer will not have to appear for a deposition requested by Justin Baldoni's legal team. Baldoni's legal team thinking about deposing Taylor Swift in their ongoing legal drama with Blake Lively sometime between October 20th and 25th. Writing to the judge that the singer had agreed to appear for a deposition in that time frame.
Baldoni's team has been arguing that Taylor Swift has material information. That's information that goes to the heart of this case as to whether or not there was defamation, whether or not there was a scheme behind closed doors.
But Taylor's legal team says not so fast. The Grammy winner's lawyer responding in a letter to the judge earlier on Friday. My client did not agree to a deposition, but if she is forced into a deposition, we advise that her schedule would accommodate the time required during the week of October 20th. This would come after the release of Taylor's highly anticipated 12th studio album.
It's called The Life of a Showgirl.
Baldoni's team was previously granted permission by the judge to obtain messages between Lively and Swift after Lively's legal team unsuccessfully tried to exclude them from the case. But now the federal judge has handed down his ruling, denying the Baldoni team's extension request, effectively excusing Taylor Swift from deposition. The judge writing in part, the Wayfarer parties previously requested Swift's deposition in May 2025 before ultimately withdrawing the subpoena. They have offered no evidence that they have served a renewed subpoena on Swift. Having failed to demonstrate appropriate diligence, the requested extension is denied. So will Taylor somehow get dragged back into this legal battle before the case goes to trial in March? Possibly, but that's just another day in the life of a showgirl, guys.
Glad you got that part in there.
I had to do it, you know.
The saga continues. We will
sure
stand by
does.
for more. Thank you, Will.
Now, with how inflation could impact your holidays, according to the new Consumer Price Index report, inflation is up nearly 3%, impacting gift items like apparel, of course, even airfare. Ike Ajachi is back with what shoppers are doing to try to save. Hey, Ike.
Hey, Gio. Listen, it's Saturday morning, and already across New York and beyond, store aisles and online carts are packed as shoppers race to lock in holiday deals. But with rising costs top of mind, some families are diving into their gift list now, hoping to sidestep what some are calling holidayflation. Soon, we'll be seeing more of these.
'Twas the nights before Christmas, despite last-minute stress, few were delivering except Walmart Express.
Which has some consumers worried about possible holidayflation.
Are you completely canceling the holidays, or are you buying your stuff now?
Today we're finishing up my son's Christmas gifts.
What it's not too early for is starting to build your Christmas gift shopping fund right now.
Prompting some to get a very early start on shopping.
I've never shopped this early before.
Including Sarah Miller, who says she is checking off the list for her 3 children well before winter.
prices rise when the holidays get closer, and I feel like all the expenses add up.
According to Adobe, consumers are planning ahead, spending 7.5% more online this August than last year, marking the biggest growth in more than 3 years.
All year, we've seen consumers shopping early. Back to school started as early as mid-June because people were worried that prices are going to go up.
Many big retailers like Walmart, Macy's, and Home Depot have acknowledged price increases due to tariffs, but say they're working to keep prices low where they can.
The tariff inventory really starts to cycle in as you get into that November-December time period. We're hearing that prices are going to go up across the board on many items. That being said, some of the retailers are likely to use promotion to try to keep prices down and to try to keep the consumer spending during the important holiday season.
Experts say consumers can still expect big savings on Black Friday and Cyber Monday this year.
Even when the deals are great and tempting, we want to stick with our list and stay away from impulse purchases that we'll regret. I like to say it's not a good deal if you weren't going to buy it anyway.
As for Sarah, she was able to save thousands buying toys on Facebook Marketplace, including a Barbie dream house for her daughter.
I spent $100 and I got her a huge Barbie house, probably twice her size, a bunch of Barbies, all the Barbie vehicles you could possibly think of.
And with price hikes looming for everything, from toys to tech, experts say the key is a smart and early start. So watch out for retailers that might hike prices ahead of Black Friday to make those discounts feel bigger. So before hitting buy, it pays to compare prices, set your budget, and remember every expense counts.
And right now, it couldn't be easier to compare those prices.
Yeah.
Just Google.
We haven't even put the pumpkins out yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, come on.
You gotta get ready. That's how you save big wit.
Yeah, all right,
Thank you.
Oh, we're back now with our play of the day. A birthday celebration for a toddler giant panda, Ching Bao. She just turned 4 in the Smithsonian's National Zoo. Threw her a party with fruit circle cake, a ball to play with, lots of other treats. I'm sure there was bamboo involved. It's Ching Bao's first birthday since she and her buddy Bao Li came to the U.S. last October. I got to go to China a little more than a year ago to meet the pandas.
Love the panda outfit.
Dress
they
the
made you.
part. What an incredible adventure.
So cute.
A big thanks to ABC for that.
We'll be back Thursday.
Good morning, America. It's our second hour. Charlie Kirk's widow speaks.
My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children.
Hours after the arrest of a suspect in the assassination of her husband. The new details on the manhunt, the arrest, and how sources say the suspect concealed a rifle as Utah's governor makes a plea against political violence.
At some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse.
Denouncing the attacks against Republicans and Democrats. We're live in Utah with the latest.
Meet the group of best friends who came up with a plan to make splitting costs while traveling together super simple.
And one of the friends said, oh, this would be so much easier if we had a shared bank account.
How it works and why they say it makes their trips more fun.
It's New York Fashion Week, and we have budget-friendly ways to stay on trend this fall, from denim to dots and the makeup move of the season.
Celebrating music teachers. The Country Music Association saying thank you to outstanding educators across the country. With stars singing their praises. As they say,
live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good Morning America.
Ooh, that looks like a crisp fall morning. It's not quite fall yet, but it looks like it. Good morning, America. It is so great to see music teachers getting some of the recognition that they deserve for what they do. Coming up, Will Gans He's here with Archie, our ABC Secret Savings special correspondent
I feel like this music
morning.
is perfect
I know, for them laying
snuggling in a giant bed.
They are bringing us smart solutions that'll make your life easier and more comfortable, too.
Looking forward to that. Plus, the FAA proposing a multi-million-dollar fine against Boeing. Details on the series of alleged lapses in safety and what Boeing has to say about the claims.
But we are going to begin here with new details emerging about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Authorities sharing more about the investigation as Kirk's widow speaks publicly for the first time since his death. And Jacqueline Lee is in Orem, Utah right now with the latest. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Gio, good morning. You could really hear it in her voice, the determination to carry on her husband's legacy. This as investigators work around the clock to determine a motive.
You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Overnight, Charlie Kirk's widow speaking out for the first time since her husband's assassination Wednesday.
I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart.
Erica Kirk choking back tears, standing beside Charlie's desk at his Turning Point USA headquarters, describing his commitment to his work and his family, including their 2 children.
Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that.
And pledging her own commitment to upholding Kirk's legacy. And new details this morning about the urgent 33-hour manhunt that led to the arrest of the man police say was behind Kirk's brutal murder in broad daylight. Kirk was speaking at an event here at Utah Valley University.
We got him.
Authorities taking 22-year-old Tyler Robinson into custody around 10 p.m. local time Thursday night, more than 3 hours away from the university in St. George, Utah.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Sources telling ABC News the suspect's father recognized him in these photos and told his son to turn himself in. They say he initially said no, but then changed his mind. Utah Governor Spencer Cox saying the suspect had recently become more political and had brought up Kirk's scheduled visit to Utah Valley University at a family dinner.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
Authorities retracing the suspect's steps, saying he arrived at the campus in his Dodge Challenger at 8:29 a.m. and appeared to walk with a stiff right leg. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News they believe he was hiding the weapon under his clothing. Moments after the shooting, you can see him sprinting off the roof and dropping down to the ground. This morning, a growing memorial here at the UVU campus as this community and nation reels from the latest act of political violence. The Utah County Attorney will review evidence over the next few days and can bring charges as early as next week. Guys.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you for your reporting. Turning now to another city expected to be in line for a deployment by the National Guard in President Trump's ongoing crime crackdown. This time it's Memphis, Tennessee. Christian Cordero has the latest. Good morning, Christian.
Janae, good morning. After teasing plans to expand his crime-fighting approach, the president says he will deploy the National Guard to Memphis, Tennessee. The Democratic mayor of Memphis says he does not believe using the National Guard will effectively bring crime down, but did support a boost in other federal resources like the FBI, DEA, and ATF. It ultimately isn't up to the mayor, which he acknowledges. Unlike LA and Chicago, both cities in democratically led states, Tennessee's Republican governor is working with the administration, allowing the National Guard to carry out regular law enforcement duties. Following the president's announcement, Tennessee's governor vowed to leverage the full extent of federal and state resources. Now, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate in the U.S. last year, according to FBI data, though its mayor touts an overall reduction in crime compared to previous years. Still a lot of questions about how this deployment will work out and whether it changes the federal takeover here in Washington, because remember, Tennessee sent some of its National Guard members here in response to the president's executive order. Whit.
All right, Christian, thanks so much. Now to the FAA seeking to fine Boeing $3.1 million over allegations of safety violations. The airplane maker accused of violations in 2023 and 2024, including the door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight. Boeing told ABC News the company is reviewing the notices of proposed civil penalty and that it continues to work on strengthening its safety culture. Gio?
Okay, Whit, in just a few hours now, some of the biggest names in the music world will gather for an extraordinary event. It's called the Grace for the World concert at the Vatican. And our James Longman, you see him right there. He has a front row seat, best seat of the house. James, good morning. I am so excited about this. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, it's going to be extraordinary, Gio. We are going to be here all day waiting for this incredible concert right down there on St. Peter's Square, right outside the Basilica. And we heard some of the rehearsals last night. I've got to tell you, the music is unbelievable. Now, I spent a lot of time in Rome earlier this year for the death, of course, of Pope Francis, and we welcomed Pope Leo. And it's on those very steps where the world were watching where some of the biggest names in music are going to be performing. We're talking Pharrell Williams, Andrea Bocelli, Jennifer Hudson, John Legend. It really is a very diverse group of musicians who are going to be taking the stage. We've got Jelly Roll on one hand, and then we've got K-pop sensation Bam Bam too. There's a gospel choir, there's hip-hop acts. It's going to be extraordinary. The Pope is going to turn 70 on Sunday, so perhaps this is some kind of birthday celebration for him. We don't know if he's going to make an appearance, but he will definitely want to get onto his roof at some point because there's going to be an incredible light and sound show. There are going to be something like 3,000 drones up in the air creating images of the Sistine Chapel. Everybody in Rome is just about going to be able to see this. The theme of this event, unity, bringing people together through music, and I think especially after the news of the last 48 hours, everybody could do with some of that. So to tune in, you can watch it live on Disney Plus this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern on Hulu and ABC News Live 2. Guys.
Amazing. And James, as you said, you've spent a lot of time there this year, so we've seen this shot, but it is gorgeous.
Yeah,
the view behind you, it is just unbelievable. Have the best time. Taking it into. Still coming up here in our GMA morning menu, we'll tell you why this group of girlfriends have a joint savings account.
Also ahead, it's New York Fashion Week, and we've got some fall-friendly trends for your wardrobe.
And it's the grand finale of Tori's birthday week. She has deals on products as low as $6, all from small businesses. We're still celebrating your birthday, Tori. We'll see you in just a bit. We are back now with our GMA cover story and a group of lifelong friends in Australia who went viral for their creative solution to splitting expenses on their girls' trips. And Rebecca Jarvis has more on this story we first saw in People magazine. Take a look.
My girlfriend and I are currently on a holiday.
Kim Brindell and her 5 best friends have known each other for over 20 years. From weekend getaways to unforgettable adventures, the group shares a love of travel that's only deepened their bond over the years. But like with any group trip, the hassle of splitting expenses became a consistent burden. That was until one of them had a better idea at the end of a trip 3 years ago.
We were frantically trying to work out who owed who what and calculate everything to be able to square up at the end of the holiday. And one of the friends said, "Oh, this would be so much easier if we had a shared bank account." And at first we all just laughed it off. And then we were like, wait, that's actually kind of genius. And we'd actually opened it by the end of breakfast.
Each woman contributes $20 a week to the shared account to be used for any and all travel expenses, including airfare, lodging, and dining. And if someone can't come or participate in certain activities, the group has a way to handle it.
There's been a time when one of the friends has been pregnant, which meant she didn't drink on the trip. And so we just all individually buy our drinks. We've actually had one of the friends not be able to come after we'd booked. However, she didn't expect any money back, but the rest of us friends thought we could probably calculate how much she'd actually put in that would have contributed. We just thought, well, the right thing to do would be to refund her, because I think we've very much taken the approach that it all comes out in the wash, or it all comes back to you eventually as well.
Kim says taking the stress out of budgeting and splitting costs has made their friendship even stronger.
Instead of thinking about cost being a barrier to splurge on that extra glass of wine, you just do it and you don't have to think about it. So it's made our trips actually so much more fun, and we've been able to connect so much more freely, not having to worry about money at all.
For Good Morning America, Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
And Rebecca says the key to doing something like this is trust.
Yeah,
of course, right? That's a big one there. And she suggests using a high-yield savings account to make the money stretch even further.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we open up
No.
an account?
No.
The trust isn't quite
well,
there
it depends
yet.
where we're going. I don't
That's
know.
right.
Maybe.
All
We'll
right.
see what
All
happens.
right.
Okay, now to an event just in time for back to school. The Country Music Foundation is celebrating teachers across the country for their commitment to their students and their community, of course. And Will Gans is here to tell us about this special story. Good morning, Will.
Special indeed. Good morning, Gio. Good morning to all of you. The CMA Awards just revealed its nominees for 2025, featuring big names like Miranda Lambert, Lainey Wilson, and Chris Stapleton. But before we get to the actual show in November, the CMA Foundation is putting some incredible educators in the spotlight first. It might not be the well-rehearsed rhapsody they're used to, but this moment...
He has been chosen as a CMA Music Teacher of Excellence.
is music to the ears of some deserving educators across the country. The Country Music Association unveiling the 2025 class of the CMA Foundation Music Teachers of Excellence, honoring 30 music teachers from coast to coast. Megan Perdue teaches in Eugene, Oregon.
It's unreal. Yeah, it's such an honor to be recognized for something that I've done for a long time and is part of my DNA. My dad was a teacher too.
When a fourth grader with special needs wanted to play the recorder, Megan found a maker in the UK that offers a one-handed version of the instrument, allowing the student to play music with their peers. Megan has since helped to develop accessible recorder designs for all the students in her district.
I think of myself as a bridge builder between student to student, community to community. Music can teach us so much about connecting with each other as humans.
This week in Nashville, the CMA Foundation hosting a sweet-sounding celebration for the often unsung heroes like Megan. Where country singer John Party partied hardy in Pitch Perfect harmony. Because he knows music teachers can change lives.
You just never know what an instrument that you give to a child, what that'll do to his soul. But sometimes a teacher are just, they're the only ones that are positive into you chasing your dreams.
And each teacher will also be awarded $5,000, which they can split evenly between purchases for the classroom and personally. But most important, it highlights just how impactful music programs are in school. Gio, you helped surprise my high school choir director last year. Yeah, it was special. Such a cool moment. I mean, she was overwhelmed. The school was
Oh, look at that. A Gio and Will sandwich.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want that?
But she is adorable. Music education just matters so much, and honestly, it shaped my life, and I know all of those educators shape the lives of their students too. So.
It makes a tremendous difference. I'm glad you did
love
that
our
story.
teachers,
Thank you
too.
so much. And by the way, this hasn't turned into the bro show. Janae's over
Yeah,
there.
Janae's right over here.
It could though.
Over to you.
It could be the bro show. All right, it is time now though for Deals and Steals. Tori Johnson, we have celebrated your birthday all week and are so excited for the
I'm so
grand
grateful.
finale.
It's been so fun. Very sweet. Very
and
sweet.
all of these products from small businesses. Let's start with this one. Gio said he's in for a new toaster.
A new toaster. This is the one to get.
Smell coming out.
I know, right?
It's
so good. And that's because you get the perfect level of toastiness. So just with those simple little touchscreens that anybody can use, look at all the different varieties. And what's amazing about this is that it heats up in seconds.
Yep.
And so typically normal toasters take a long time to heat up. And what that does is it dries out your bread, your bagels, your waffles.
Yeah.
Instead, this doesn't dry it out. It leaves everything to have that like perfect crispiness that you want in your toast. And then as an optional add-on, you can do the press, which allows you to put it right into there and then to make these incredible.
So that fits in there.
Yes, so that you can make the grilled cheese in there, a panini, a quesadilla. You want perfect toastiness or crispiness with that. You want Revolution Cooking, all 50% off.
First the Will sandwich, now a
there you go. A grilled cheese.
sandwich.
Okay, this is staff, and it's all about making everyday chores a little bit happier, a little bit brighter. And so they've reimagined household essentials. So the little matches there. Yep, that's like a little match bouquet designed to look like flowers. Nobody has a prettier plunger than this. These are they're beautiful because it's the materials they use, the colors that they use. This lint brush kind of it's phenomenal. The colors are beautiful. I love these mismatched, intentionally mitts that are great for the oven. The tongs are great. So if you need a little extra help around, this is your staff of household helpers, all 50% off starting at $10.
I love that.
That's cute, right? All right, mixed metals. Yes, this is from Sterling Forever. I'm decked out here. You've got one. I've got two of them on here. And we've got the rings that are these stacked rings, these bracelets, which are like watch bands, all of the different chains for stacking, the mixed metal earrings. All of this stuff is so in style right now, so on trend, but you cannot find prices anywhere like we have. Everything slashed up to 66%, starting at $15 plus free shipping from Sterling Forever.
Love that.
The rings are pretty fabulous. Okay, she's Birdie.
Yep.
This is the easiest way.
Colors.
The colors are great. This clips right onto your backpack. Your you can put it on a belt loop, your purse, wherever you want, wherever you're going
running,
out, whatever
anything.
you're carrying. Exactly. From college kids to seniors. What I love about this is that if you're in trouble, you pull the pin. It makes a loud siren,
loud. Yes.
Attracts help. Startles a would-be attacker, somebody bothering you. This is a really important one for safety, and these are all slashed in half. Smart. Then Fancy. We love, sorry, not Fancy yet. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. London Town.
Yes.
This is amazing for at-home manicures that are really luxurious. Their lacquers are great. Their foot treatments are fabulous. Those are really great for overnight. That's like super soft feet overnight. But the colors not only are strong, pigmented, no chips, but also they're really nourishing for your nails. So good for your nails products, all starting at $6.
Love that.
And no beauty mishaps when you've got the perfect lighting. So we've got these little compact mirrors that you know, and then this one is also a newer one. So you can, it swivels, you could use it like this, you could use it like this. It folds down for travel. It is so smart, but because it is natural light, you never have a beauty mishap. All slashed in half today from Fancy. Everyone
I love these for a backseat beat. Truly, it helps a lot. Thank you so much, Tori. Her birthday's tomorrow, so happy early birthday to you, my friend. And we, of course, have partnered with these companies on these great deals. You can get them at gmadeals.com. Scan that QR code on the screen. It'll take you right there, and we'll be right back here on GMA.
I don't need a camera to capture this moment. I'll remember how you look tonight.
Okay, we are back now with new music from Ed Sheeran. That's the video for camera from his album Play, just released Friday. Sheeran says he was inspired by home footage of him and his wife Cherry, but didn't want to use their personal moments for a music video, so he recreated them with Bridgerton star Phoebe Dynevor. I mean, really cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very cool. Love that song.
He's so talented.
You know what? I was waiting to see this shot because, hold on, you guys, pull out a little bit more because there is a half-eaten grilled cheese sandwich from Gio sitting on this table that has not been picked up from the last segment.
Watching his carbs and gluten.
It was just staring at me.
It was real good. Now to some of the top headlines that we are following right now. A new warning about childhood obesity around the world. A UNICEF study says 1 in 5 children and adolescents worldwide is considered overweight and 1 in 10 is obese. The agency saying ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks are key factors.
Southwest rolling out new rules for wheelchairs and scooters that run on lithium batteries starting September 25th. Passengers will be required to take out removable lithium batteries and carry them into the cabin. Southwest will also impose size limits on lithium batteries. The airline saying that the new policy is all about addressing fire risks.
And it's a big day in college football as week 3 kicks into high gear. Number 6 Georgia taking on number 15 Tennessee. The Big Ten faces off with the SEC on ABC today when Wisconsin takes on number 19 Crimson Tide in Alabama. And then Florida plays number 2 LSU after that upset loss to USF. You can catch the full SEC lineup of these games on ABC. That's kicking off at noon Eastern, Janae.
All right, New York Fashion Week is underway, and style expert Lilliana Vazquez is here with budget-friendly ways to incorporate runway looks into our own wardrobes, and she looks fantastic. I love this whole look.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. Okay, so New York Fashion Week is in full swing with spring trends, but you've got some fall looks from the runway to wear right now.
Yes, so everyone always says new year, new you, but I say new fall, new you.
Ooh,
because
love it.
this is one of the best times to really change it up in our closets. Big transition from summer to fall. And one of the easiest ways you can do it is with dark denim. Now, I heard a stat that women have more jeans than anything else in their closet.
I believe it.
Okay, I believe it too. So a great way to update your denim is to go dark. So you can do just a dark denim on the bottom. We went head to toe because I wanted to show you how chic it can look when you put it together. But I love the idea of mixing this in, especially with all of those autumnal tones, like your browns, your grays, your jewel tones. It just pops against the dark denim, and I'm always looking for newness. And this is a way that you're gonna stand out from all of your like mid-wash jeans or your light wash jeans. So try this trend. You can shop it at any price point. It's literally everywhere right now. Do not be afraid of dark denim.
And that's the thing, because denim can feel like pretty casual sometimes, but making it dark just suddenly elevates it.
Absolutely, it makes it more dress up. I think it'd be perfect for like a fun cocktail party with like a little sparkly shirt, but you could also do it casual daytime.
This is great. So you also say that polka dots are having a moment.
They are having a huge moment. I was actually at Christian Siriano's show last night at Macy's, and he showed polka dots on the runway for spring. So y'all, we are ahead. We're ahead of the trend. So yes, and obviously here you're mixing dots, and if you are gonna mix your polka dots, change up the scale so that you're able to do a small scale with a big scale.
Okay.
Ariana Grande has worn this recently, I think at the VMAs. So it's really everywhere right now. It has a nod to kind of this Parisian chic vibe. And here's the thing I say with polka dots. If the print is too much for you, try an accessory.
And these are so great.
So great. So you could be wearing head to toe black, add a little polka dot on the shoe. And again, it lets you step into the trend without making a commitment from head to toe in case you just want to dip your toe.
Literally step into the trend. I love that. Let's talk about color because we are going bold.
Yes. So typically in the fall, you see a lot of jewel tones, which I love. But this fall, we're seeing a lot of rich, saturated hues. And the one color that is dominating the runway was this beautiful, rich, I call it royal purple. Yeah. So Rachel Brosnahan was actually at the Met Gala in this color, and it stunned. Everyone immediately looked, because that's what color
grabs your attention.
Color immediately grabs your attention in any single room you walk into. So if you're making a presentation, if you're going to a meeting, you're like, I need attention, I need eyes, do this color. And this color happens to be one of those colors that is flattering on every skin tone. Like, you cannot go wrong with purple.
Yeah. Even with the accessories too, just a good pop.
Make it pop with the red.
Okay, so let's talk beauty trends.
Yes.
It's all about blush?
It is all about blush. There's this fun thing called blush blindness because girls are using so much blush. But whether you're using a beautiful cream formula like this, a powder, or you're getting a 2-in-1 like this one's from Patrick Ta, you can literally layer the blush. But here's my one tip.
Yes.
Remember how they taught you to put it just on the apples of your cheek? We're not doing that anymore. Now we're
like bringing it up.
Yes. We're getting a facelift with our blush, and it just adds a beautiful wash of color. It's soft, it's feminine, it is perfect for fall.
My makeup artist Renee likes to do a little bit on the nose too, just rosy all
That's
throughout.
the trick. You just kind of want it like this, diffused, okay? Not too heavy.
Right, not just on the apples. Thank you so much, Lilliana. This is great. And coming up, we sit down with the author behind GMA's September book club pick, The Book of Lost Hours. Stick around, GMA will be right back.
Okay, y'all, it is time now for our GMA September Book Club pick. It's The Book of Lost Hours, Haley Galfuso's debut novel. Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Welcome.
Welcome to GMA. You know, I was reading this, and one of the things that struck me, it says it's a magnificent feat of imagination. And I love that because this book takes twists and turns. How do you describe it?
So the way that I describe The Book of Lost Hours is it's set in the Cold War, and it follows a young woman named Lisbeth Levy, who is 11 years old when she finds herself trapped in a place called the Time Space, which is this interdimensional library filled with memories of the dead that are stored inside of books. And as she grows up inside this place, she starts to realize that there are people known as timekeepers entering the time space to burn some of the books in order to rewrite history.
Wow.
And this is something that she sets out to try and stop. She makes it kind of her life's mission. And then one day she meets a timekeeper called Ernest Duquesne, who's working with the U.S. for the CIA, and it is his job to stop her from preserving the memories.
I mean, just hearing you describe that, like, I see the movie in my head.
That's incredible.
So let's make that happen, Hollywood.
Yes, truly. So for you personally, what's a fond memory of yours that you'd want to revisit? Or someone else's, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, I am one of 5 siblings. And so when I think about memories that I would want to go back to, there's only a brief period in time where my oldest sister, who is about 2 years older than me, and my youngest brother, who is about 9 years younger than I am, we're all in the house together. Wow. Yeah, and so I think I would go back to that time when we were all, you know, young, all still at home together, because it was only, I think, a 6-year window when we were all there. So that would be really cool.
I love that. And I understand one of the main characters was named after your grandfather?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I named him after my grandfather, Ernest. It was partially to honor his memory because he passed away in 2019 when I was about 18 or 19 years old. But it also just was a testament to what I think that the time space was really meant for, what this library of memories was really meant for, which is a way for us to revisit the people who we've lost. So that's an important part for all of the characters in the book, is that it's this place where they can go back and see memories of the loved ones that they have lost along the way. And even though it ended up being something nefarious or used for nefarious purposes, that is in its essence what the time space is for. It's for remembering and for honoring the people that we love.
It's almost like this book is a book on the shelves of the time space, isn't it?
A little bit, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I heard that you have a master's degree in biology.
I do.
How did you get from that to this?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I have been a writer my entire life. When I was younger, even before I actually knew how to write, I would be filling notebooks with either letters, just random letters, or sometimes just scribbles. And I was telling everyone, like, I'm writing a story. And so it's something I've always done, even when I was pursuing other things. But when you have a creative endeavor that you want to pursue, people always tell you, you know, don't bet on it. You have to do something else, something that will actually build a career and make money for you. And I got really lucky in that, like, you know, this has become a reality for me. But biology and, you know, the environment and the natural world is sort of my other passion. And so this is something I think I would always be doing, even if, you know, that hadn't been a reality for me.
Amazing.
So what would you tell other new authors who are working on this or wanting to set out on this about the process?
Ooh, I think the process overall is one of those things that just, it takes a lot of perseverance and it takes a lot of trial and error. So even though this is my first book that got published, this is not by any means the first book I actually wrote. And all of that practice ultimately has made the experience something really special, and, you know, it worked out in this case. So I think I would just tell them, you know, keep writing, keep pursuing the ideas that you have, even if they seem a little bit crazy, and just keep persevering.
Haley, it is
not a
such
crazy
pleasure.
idea.
This is not, I'm
GMA
sorry,
Book Club pick.
right for her debut, right at the beginning. And we are glad to be here right at the beginning with you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
The Book of Lost Hours is available right now. Haley Gelfuso, thank you so much.
Thanks for And coming up here, we're back with ABC Secret Savings that will make your life easier and comfortable too. We've got Will Gantz here, and we brought a friend, right?
Yeah, special correspondent.
Special correspondent Archie. More when we come back. He's a good boy. All right, we're back now with ABC Secret Savings, and Will is making our lives easier with smart solutions at great prices. And just for GMA viewers, everything here is shoppable. Will demonstrating our first product. I guess we're all here just cozying up.
And
you brought a friend, a correspondent.
Did. Archie is here. You know, dogs are the best nappers.
They know
Always
jealous
how to just
of
get
that.
cozy, and that is what Pluffle is all about. So these are human-sized dog beds.
Sure.
So that you could cozy up with Copper, anyone who wants to cozy up with their dog, or maybe you don't even have a dog, but you're just trying to live the life of Riley like these dogs do sometimes. But it has this 360 pillow, foam pillow on the outside. It has a pocket there. You can see you could throw the remote, your phone, anything you might need during nap time. But it's great. It cradles your neck and your head. Ultra soft cover comes with it as well, which is fabulous. Perfect place to snuggle up with your fur baby. You can save now, and today you'll get free shipping.
Free shipping, and it's Archie approved.
It is
so we know it's good.
Certainly Archie approved.
Yeah,
it's
good
Will
boy.
approved too.
Is he going to join us for the rest of the
Archie,
situation?
Come on, let's go for a little walk.
Come on, bud.
He'll want to know
how about the socks?
Yeah, he'll want to know about Vim and Vigor
Yeah.
here. So this is compression socks that you can have in style as well. And what's great about these is that they are gradual compression. So it's firm around the ankle, and then the further up you go up the thigh, it relaxes a little bit. So this is great for improving circulation and blood flow, and it's great for sitting, standing, if you're exercising, or if there's anyone who's expecting in your life. It'll also help control varicose veins, and you can see here all of these cute styles and patterns for men.
Yeah, great patterns
and
here,
for women, and today you'll save 50% from Vim and Vigor.
Half off, love it.
Yes, all
Ooh,
right.
snacks.
Yes, let's talk about
Now
Zip
we're
Top.
talking.
So this is great for solving all of the mismatched lids. If you have like all kinds of storage
Don't
containers,
even get me started.
Yeah,
it's like a kids' lunches. It's a nightmare.
you open the cabinet and everything just starts falling out. That doesn't happen anymore. Look how easy this stores. They all stack up together, which is fabulous, and there's no lids involved. So you just seal it at the top just like that.
I really
great
like
for
this.
snacking, lunches as you brought up, meal prep, anything like that. Their food, their microwave, freezer, and dishwasher safe, which is fabulous. Today you'll save more than 30% per set.
These are excellent.
So
I'm in.
good. All right. This, I feel like, might be right up your alley. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Anything about lighting.
Yes.
You know how I am with the Kelvins.
Yes, exactly. So these are appropriate Kelvins, one would hope.
Yeah.
Perfect for safety anywhere you need it. In a shed, in a hallway, if you're walking from the car to your house, a long driveway at night. Anything where you need a little bit of extra light, just for a little bit of extra safety. These are fabulous. Color-changing bulbs, tactical flashlights, dimmable lanterns, and more. Lysol is exactly what you need. They install easily, by the way. No tools needed, no electrical wiring needed. You'll save now on a big assortment from Lysol.
2,700 Kelvins, 3,000 Kelvins, 5,000 Kelvins,
I mean,
right there.
there you
and
go. That,
I'm your
that
Kelvin
was
guy.
a freebie, by the way.
Yep, yeah.
Now, don't open this because it's only in case of emergency.
Yes, these are great, though.
Yes, we have had them on before. This is the Prepared Hero Fire Blanket. These are perfect. You just hang them up and store them just like this in these safety pouches. Should you need them in the kitchen, maybe if you're camping, perhaps in a car, you just pull the tabs and it releases this blanket that will help you smother any type of fire. We also have this for the first time here today. So this would be to put in any documents that you want to keep safe.
Yeah.
Should there be an emergency, maybe it's your passport, birth certificate, anything like that, you just pop them in these fireproof cases and it'll keep your documents safe. So we have a wide assortment from Prepared Hero today, and the deal, all 30 to 50% off right now.
Excellent. These are great for the kitchen, especially. Appreciate it, Will. And Archie,
Yes,
amazing
thank
job as
you.
always. We partner with all these companies and these big savings. You can get them by scanning the QR code right there on the screen.
All right, and before we go, we want to wish a happy birthday to our friend Larry Peterson here on our crew. Happy birthday, Larry.
Happy birthday, Larry.
Yes. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. Thank you, Archie.
He says you're welcome.
He's the best. We love Archie when he comes in. You can catch more weekend coverage on ABC News Live. Bye, everybody.